Okay, so we just finished the Spot the Troll quiz. What were our high scores in here? Did anybody get all of them right? Yeah, I didn't either. Did anybody get half of them right? I did get half. I did not get more than half. It's definitely not easy. And it definitely goes back to our ideas of disinformation. So I thought that was kind of like a fun introduction to one way that disinformation is spread. So what I'm going to do today, and kind of what we do with the definitional essay in general, is to gather information. You gathered the information for the dictionary definition, which I still do need to go ahead and put up on there. I have the PDFs that we made yesterday. But now we're going to deal with some connotations, okay? Now keep in mind, connotations change over time, right? So because connotations change over time, we are concerned with the historical definitions of disinformation. So before we had the term fake news, right, there was Soviet disinformation. And I've got an article here for us. It's back from 2016. But basically, back in 1983, a small pro-Soviet Indian newspaper called The Patriot published a front page article titled AIDS May Invade India, Mystery Disease Caused by US Experiments. The story cited a letter from an anonymous but well-known American scientist and anthropologist that suggested AIDS, then still a mysterious and deadly new disease, had been created by the Pentagon in a bid to develop new biological weapons. And so this article, which was false, was a conspiracy theory that persisted for a very long time. And so it talks about disinformation throughout the ages, particularly since 1983, which really was at its height during the Cold War, right? So in the Cold War, these false stories were called disinformation. Then there was actually an original Russian word associated with it, desinformatia. That was pretty good Russian right there. So yeah, it was a actual group formed back then to spread propaganda, spread disinformation. So this article talks about kind of the history of disinformation way back in the day. This article is about the professors from Clemson who actually made the Spot the Troll game that we just played. And it talks in depth about them. What's really fascinating about this article, wow, a lot of ads on there, is how they talk about how other countries are getting in on this action now, and how a lot of disinformation is now coming directly from the US. So they talk a lot about that in this article. The third one I'm going to bring forward to you today tells you the difference between a troll, a bot, and a cyborg, and basically different ways to spread disinformation online. And it also, I believe, has the difference between disinformation and misinformation. Misinformation just means it might be accidental, right? It could be a mistake. Disinformation is pretty purposeful. You know, that's the major difference. So there's these three articles that we're going to read to help expand and understand disinformation all the better. My goal for us is this. I'm not going to have you read all of these articles, though you may end up doing so. I'm going to break this into three groups to read these articles. And you're gonna look at them, possibly annotate them, and take out the main points, right? The stuff that helps you better understand the definition of disinformation and helps with the connotations of disinformation. And then after we've done this research gathering, our next step, which is going to take a while because I'm going to have you present your findings to the class and stuff so we can have notes together. The next step will be you strike out on your own to start doing some research about disinformation, how it works, how it's spread, where it's coming from, what examples of it we might have, in order for you to think about what things you are interested in when you write your own definitional essay. So basically, I start by giving you some sources to chew on and think about, and then you go off on your own to find additional ones that cement your connotations that you're thinking of in your head as well. So I've got these three. Tomorrow I'm planning on having us play this game. And we're lastly going to read How Memes Got Weaponized, which is a really fascinating article. Definitely worth the read. So 1, 2, 3. These are all fairly lengthy articles. They're from a widespread, different organizations, right? Very different places they're coming from, different years, different places in history that they're talking about. I don't know if that one's in the How Memes Got Weaponized. They might be. I forget about that one, but it was really interesting. I think you'll enjoy that one. So yeah, we're gonna break up into groups, and you're gonna read this together, either out loud or to yourself, either one, and then you're gonna try to pick out the main arguments and the main points of interest that help us better understand disinformation. So I am gonna stop.